What if I told you that a rivalry as fierce as India versus Maldives began with a simple game of football? Intriguing, isn't it? Picture the 1980s when the world was witnessing a technological revolution, and in the midst of all this, a rivalry was brewing in the world of sports. Yes, you heard it right. The genesis of the India versus Maldives rivalry has its roots in this era. It was a time when the two countries were exploring their sports potential, and football was their common ground. The rivalry was not born out of political tensions or historical disputes, but rather from a friendly sports competition. It was the spirit of the game, the passion for football, that led to the inception of this rivalry. Imagine two nations, one a giant in terms of population, and the other a small island nation, both developing a burning desire to outdo the other on the football pitch. The first few encounters between India and Maldives in international tournaments were cordial, with each team trying to gauge the other's strengths and weaknesses. But as they say, familiarity breeds competition. As the teams met more often, the matches became more intense, the stakes higher, and the desire to win stronger. Each victory was celebrated, and each loss was a lesson learned. The teams were not just playing for the trophy, but for national pride. Every goal scored was a statement, every save a defiance, and every match a chapter in this ever-evolving story of rivalry. The spectators weren't just spectators anymore, they were an integral part of the game. Their cheers echoed the players' determination, their sighs mirrored the players' disappointments, and their applause celebrated the players' triumphs. The rivalry seeped into the hearts of the people, transcending the boundaries of the football field. So from a simple game of football, a rivalry was born, a rivalry that would go on to shape the sporting landscape of both nations. As time moved on, so did the nature of the India versus Maldives rivalry. It was no longer just about sports. The rivalry soon began to seep into the fabric of politics, culture, and economics, painting a broader, more complex picture. At the heart of the political disagreements were differing ideologies and interests. The skirmishes transcended beyond the boundaries of a football field and spilled over into the political corridors of power. These disagreements sometimes took the form of diplomatic tussles, often making headlines and stirring debates. Shifting our gaze to culture, we see a fascinating mosaic of contrast and similarities. Both nations, rich in their unique traditions and customs, often found themselves in a cultural tug-of-war. The cultural exchanges, sometimes harmonious, other times contentious, added a new dimension to the rivalry. It became more than just a competition, it became an exploration of identity and pride. Then there's the economic competition, a silent but potent part of the rivalry. As two rapidly developing nations, India and Maldives, found themselves vying for the same economic opportunities. Whether it was tourism, fisheries, or trade, the competition was tough and the stakes were high. This economic jostle, while fostering growth and innovation, also stoked the flames of rivalry. It's important to note that this evolution wasn't a one-off event. It was a series of key events, a chain of reactions that led to the rivalry becoming more entrenched, more personal. It was no longer a matter of winning or losing a game. It was about national pride, about standing tall on the global stage, about carving out a unique identity. From the football field to the political arena, from cultural exchanges to economic jostle, the India versus Maldives rivalry had now become a part of the identity of both nations. The rivalry between India and Maldives wasn't just about two nations competing. It had far-reaching impacts and repercussions. Diving into the heart of the matter, it's clear this rivalry was more than a mere battle of supremacy. It was a tug-of-war that shaped the very fabric of these two nations, influencing how the people perceived themselves and each other. Imagine being a citizen of either of these countries, where the rivalry seeped into conversations over dinner tables, in school playgrounds, and even in local marketplaces. The sense of national pride intertwined with the outcome of this rivalry, affecting the psyche of the people. It became a part of their identity, a part of their narrative. This rivalry was no longer just about the nations, it was about the people. Beyond the psychological impact, the rivalry also brought about tangible changes. Economically, it fueled competition, pushing both nations to outdo each other. This intense rivalry acted as a catalyst, driving economic growth and innovation. Industries flourished, businesses thrived, and the economies of both nations experienced a significant boost. However, every coin has two sides. The rivalry also had its share of political repercussions. It led to strained diplomatic relations at times, with each nation trying to gain the upper hand. Yet it also led to constructive dialogues, compelling both countries to engage in discussions, fostering a sense of mutual respect and understanding. In essence, the rivalry between India and Maldives was more than just a series of events. It was a complex web of emotions, aspirations, and challenges that left an indelible mark on both nations. The rivalry between India and Maldives wasn't just a competition. It was a mirror reflecting the identities, aspirations, and insecurities of two nations and their people. The India versus Maldives rivalry has come a long way since its inception. Where does it stand today? The current state of the rivalry is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of history, sportsmanship, and national pride. Recent events have added new dimensions to this long-standing competition. The echoes of the past resonate in the present, shaping the rivalry as we know it today. In the world of sports, the rivalry has seen a seesaw of victories and defeats. Each game, each match, each race is a testament to the relentless spirit of the athletes, their unwavering resolve to outdo their rivals. The fervor in the stadiums, the cheers and chants, the triumphant roars and the sighs of defeat all contribute to the dynamic narrative of this rivalry. Beyond the sports arenas, the rivalry has seeped into other realms as well. In the spheres of culture, economy, and diplomacy, India and Maldives continue to engage in a friendly competition. Each country's successes are viewed through the lens of this rivalry, spurring them on to strive for greater achievements. The rivalry, however, isn't confined to the corridors of power or the sports fields. It has permeated the hearts and minds of the people of India and Maldives. The rivalry is discussed in hushed whispers and loud debates, in homes and in public squares, by the young and the old. It's a part of their collective consciousness, shaping their perceptions and attitudes towards each other. Despite the competitive undertone, the rivalry has fostered a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect among the people. They revel in their shared history and commonalities, even as they take pride in their distinctive identities. The rivalry has, in a way, brought them closer, bridging the geographical divide and strengthening their cultural ties. The rivalry continues. The stage may have changed, the players may have changed, but the intensity and passion remain the same. What does the future hold for the India versus Maldives rivalry? Will it continue to shape the destiny of both nations? As we find ourselves at the precipice of the future, these questions hold more weight than ever. Our crystal ball might be murky, but we can contemplate potential scenarios for this enduring rivalry. Could we see a future where the rivalry intensifies, further fueling the competitive spirit of both nations, or perhaps a future where the rivalry mellows, morphing into a friendly competition that fosters mutual growth and development? Let's imagine the first scenario. An escalating rivalry could have profound impacts on the people, politics, and economies of both nations. The intensity might fuel nationalism, potentially polarizing societies and creating divisions. Politically, it could influence policies and even international relations as each state strives to outdo the other. Economically, it could drive competition, encouraging innovation and growth. But let's not forget the second scenario. A softened rivalry could lead to a more harmonious relationship between the nations. It could foster a spirit of camaraderie among the people, promoting unity and mutual respect. Politically, it could lead to more cooperative policies and stronger bilateral ties. Economically, it could open doors for collaborative ventures, promoting shared prosperity. Whichever path the rivalry takes, one thing is clear. The importance of peace and understanding in moving forward cannot be overstated. Rivalries in their essence are about competition, but they should not breed hostility or animosity. Instead, they should inspire both parties to strive for excellence, to learn from each other, and to grow together. The future of the India versus Maldives rivalry lies in the hands of its people. It's a story that is yet to be written, a game that is yet to be played. So as we stand on the brink of tomorrow, let's remember that the pen is in our hands and the future is ours to write.